What's up, guys? This is Sherelle Unique here. This is my reaction video to the Queens of R&B SWV and Escape episode 3. Before I start, let me just let y'all know. I'm not about to be dressed up all the time. I'm at home, I'm chilling. And when you catch me with the time to do these kind of videos, more than likely it's going to be real relaxed over here. When I am glammed up, I'm going to do content, but I'm not about to be glammed up all the time, y'all. So let me just put that out there. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Coco, she shares with us that she has suffered with bipolar depression. And she had thought about really like killing somebody. And I think there's a whole lot of people who have thought those type of thoughts. I think it's a whole lot of people who are dealing with mental health. And I love that she was vulnerable with us in that way to share that kind of thing with us. In this episode, her son Jaden reveals that he no longer wants to go to college. He wants to sing. Now, when I first start seeing Jaden, he did not want to sing. I was watching some of his content with Coco. He did not want to sing. He would sing here and there, but he wanted to be a dentist. So these episodes are showing what seems like Coco is pushing him more into dentistry, but I do specifically remember him saying that he did not want to sing, and he could sing. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I'm like team go to college. Get some kind of form of paper with your name on it. And I don't think college is for everybody, but he seems like he's really smart. He seemed like he's a school kid, and I just feel like you should do both. I'm with Coco on this one. Because it just gives you stability, it gives you variety, it gives you options. It helps you to network. It helps you to step out on your own and to gain some independence. It's just a lot. Like, I really learned who I was in school, in college, and I really see the benefits of going. And so I'm really team Coco on this one. And then I feel like these young kids, the Zoomers, they get too wrapped up in their happiness. Not that happiness is not important. Happiness is important, but you should be seeking joy. You should be seeking purpose. You should be seeking something more meaningful, something more long-lasting. Happiness is fickle. It's short. It's emotion-based. It's situation-based. And the reality is, it's hard to find anything on this earth that's going to keep you happy 24/7. And that's just real. So it's better to invest in things and take your time with things. Understand that things are going to be hard. Understand that you're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. But you got to learn how to persevere, if that makes sense. So they base everything off, oh, well, if I'm not going to do anything if I'm not happy. I'll just be like, suck it up. Okay? Life is hard. All right, let's move on. Taj. I love Taj energy. I love her attitude. I think she's so cool. Even though she was the bone collector in this episode, sometimes you have to be in reality TV, seems like. But I love that she just seems to be the mediator. She is very down to earth, and I love how she is just comfortable with everybody in majority of the situation. And she can relate, because Coco, like they said, I'm glad that they weren't quiet about it, but Coco's ego, like they said, her ego was the fourth member of the group, and Coco ain't disputing it. So I'm sure they really, really went through it during them times when Coco was wanting to leave the group. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get back into it. Lily, her backstory is so inspiring. We got to learn a little bit more, delve a little deeper into what happened with her when SWV had broken up, when she was homeless, living in her car, trying to keep herself protected from anything that might possibly happen, which a lot could have happened. And I'm just so glad she's here. I'm glad she's able to share what she's been through, and I'm glad we've gotten to see things full circle for her. It's cool that she's still ambitious and wants to do things outside of SWV. And yeah, I like that. This book she's doing, she said it's her alter ego, but I wonder if it's like the real stories of stuff she was doing, because I heard she was for the streets. For the streets. So I wonder if this book that she's about to put out is some of her escapades. I'm not a fan of talking to my kids about something like that, like as openly as she did. I might like let them know, like, because her kids are older. You know, I might be like, you know, I'm putting out a book. It's about this. But she goes in. I grew up real modest, so it's just not my thing. And then also to hear that, like, she had to obtain her GED. She didn't have it. She had to go through and really, like, tough it out. And I loved how she talked about the process, because that's something, when it goes back to Jaden and some of these kids that want the music career, you have to understand that no matter what you do, it's going to be a process. It's going to take time for you to get through it. And like I said, it's going to be ups and downs. You're not going to be happy all the time, but you have to persevere, and be resilient. Let's see. Let's get off into, so here's what I did not talk about that I wanted to talk about in the last review and reaction. Rocky did threaten Tamika. And I'm not shocked. Like Tasha said, he used to work for R. Kelly, and we know there's a lot of shady, scandalous individuals that was working for R. Kelly. And Rocky seems to be one of them. And then when he came in on this episode, interrupting her studio session, joking as if he's Ike, it's like, bruh, this ain't a good look, because we already got the side eye with you anyway. So, miss me with all that. I want to know what that threat was about. When you were trying to threaten, give like that little side threat to Tamika. And I'm glad Tamika's finally just stepping out. Period. Then also on outside of the show, I'm hearing that he has a side baby and a side chick. She has come out to speak. Tasha, of course, is speaking all around that and not being honest about it. And it's just like, what's that about? And then he's like, you know, it's clear she don't want to work things out with you because she got so much to say about me. What? Make it make sense, bruh. I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know what you're trying to say. But Tasha doesn't check stuff like that. Let me get off into, before I get into Tasha and Tamika and the mama, let me get off into Candy. Candy is really about her businesses. I love how she promotes and puts everything out there. I love how truthful she seems to be. And the reality is, when it comes to who's going to be first in these shows, the conversation would have had to have happened either way. So because they're having problems with management, I do understand that Candy took initiative to be the advocate to talk about Who's gonna go first? What's the price gonna be? This conversation would have had to have happened either way. Now, I'm biased. SWV needs to absolutely be first in whatever, but it needs to be co-headliners. Both of them need to be headlining, period. And they should be making the same amount of money for this one-time show or tour, whatever it's going to end up being, if it ends up being anything, because at this rate it's looking like it may not be. But I think the conversation should have been had, but Xscape should have backed down, because the reality is Xscape would not be here if SWV was not here. They laid the ground. They stepped out dressed like regular girls from, from the neighborhood, singing like angels. And that just was not a thing. That was not a thing. And so that helped pave the way for these girls to come on. And so the business has to be talked about. The conversation has to be had, which it should have been had with management. But they should have backed down after it was brought out. Like, okay, no, we're going to do it together. That should have just been the end of it. All right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let me say this, though. SWV was preparing for their concert in Pittsburgh. I'm here in Pittsburgh, and I was so mad I could not go to that concert. I don't know if I had a gig or my money wasn't right. It was one of the two things, but I have to see SWV. Like, I have to see them. Coco is one of the reasons why I sing, and I love Coco, and I love SWV, period. So, let's get off into this. Tasha's makeup is too light, in my opinion. Just random thought as I was watching it today. Her makeup's too light. I feel like she's just pulling anything out of a hat. Like, and I wonder what her next excuse is going to be now that she has had to talk. Now that Tamika's had to talk with the mom, what is the next excuse going to be? What is your next reason for not cooperating and not participating like you should? It's just, she's just really, she needs to be in therapy. She's not realistic, and she seems like she's not really honest. And Rocky feeds into it, like, remind them who you are. Like, nobody's competing. We've been singing since we was kids. At this point, nobody's competing with Tasha. Vocally, like, nobody's even, I don't even think nobody cares. They gonna move on. They would like her there, but if she ain't there, one monkey don't stop no show. And then, like she said, well, it's been a long story about me having a little butt. Okay, girl. Drop it. It's petty. It hurts your feelings, but it's petty. Move on. You hurting people's feelings too. Now, Tamika. I'm happy that she's gonna get her breakthrough. I'm glad that her and her mom spoke, and at least they could do the start of the reconciliation. It's surface level what they did, but at least the start of it is out there. She has set the first boundary in the sense of letting her mom know how she felt. It's almost like she resorts back to being a small child. And her mom just feels like she could just come in and lay the law as if she's still a kid, and she's not a kid. And she just seems so emotionally abandoned. I've said that before, but she does. And it seems like the mom views her as a scapegoat for what the dad did. She's a daddy's girl, and you can sometimes have conflict with your parent when you're cool with the other parent, and then you become an enemy or a scapegoat or a punching bag because you're not following the mom. You're not choosing sides. And the mom wouldn't let her just talk. You had to make it about you and how you feel, or make it about Tasha and how Tasha feels. Tamika's your child too, and how she feels is important. So it's just, it was sad to watch, sad to hear. And the whole I'm the 5th member of the group. You know what? I don't know if I said this before, but with Tasha and Tamika's mom and with Candy's mom, I wonder if they got along. Because I can see why, and no shade to Candy's mom, but they're messy. Them ladies, them older ladies, are messy boots. And they keep up so much contention. And it's like, okay, I could see you wanting to make sure you get your flowers for getting them started with singing. And they give you the flowers. But you ain't the 5th member of the group, hun. Like, it's time to move on. Because you're causing more conflict between the girls. And they could really figure this out on their own. They really could. If Tasha has humility. And then sometimes you have that child who will show you your flaws. And they'll challenge you. They don't let you stay comfortable in your toxicity. And so I think that that's Tamika for mom. Mom was going on these rants about the dad. One second you talking about Tasha, next thing you talking about disrespect, next thing you talking about the dad and what he, like, you're all over the place, mom, and you need to get that checked out. That's unchecked trauma. You gotta get therapy. Got to. I hope you do. But I'm glad this was a start. I'm glad Tamika got to get some of this off her chest with her mom. It's so hard. And hopefully her and Tasha can reconcile soon. Hopefully they can reconcile soon. That's it. That's my reaction to the Queens of R&B, SWV and Escape episode 3. This is Sherelle Unique. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button and I'm out.